What if I told you that respect isn't something you can ask for, negotiate for, or demand? What if it's a silent, subconscious verdict that a man delivers within the first few moments of meeting you, based on a set of ancient, unspoken cues? Most women are trying to win respect by playing a game they don't understand, with a rule book they've never been shown. 99% will miss the final, most crucial rule on benevolent detachment, and without it, all the other rules can crumble under the weight of a single interaction. Rule 1, the art of the request. The first rule governs the very foundation of how you ask for what you want. It's a subtle but profound shift in your communication that separates the woman who is perceived as a partner from the woman who is perceived as a burden. The feminine energy, in its less empowered state, often communicates its needs through hints, complaints, or accusations. It's the sigh when the trash is full. It's the passive-aggressive comment, "It would be nice if someone helped around here." It's the accusatory, "You never take me out anymore." This form of communication, while common, is deeply unattractive to the masculine mind. Why? Because it presents a problem without a solution. It is a signal of emotional chaos, and it forces the man into one of two losing positions. Either he has to become a mind reader to decipher the unspoken need, or he has to become a therapist to manage the negative emotion. Both are exhausting. The woman who commands respect has mastered the art of the request. She understands that the most effective way to communicate a need is to do so directly, clearly, and as a positive invitation, not as a negative complaint. She transforms a complaint into a concrete, actionable request. Instead of sighing about the trash, she waits for a moment of connection and says with a warm smile, "Hey, would you be a hero and take out the trash for me?" She has given him a clear mission, a defined success metric, and has even framed it in a way that allows him to feel successful and appreciated. Be a hero. She has made it easy for him to win. Instead of the vague, accusatory, "You never take me out," she uses the power of a specific, future-oriented invitation. She might say, "I was thinking it would be so much fun for us to try that new Italian place downtown. I'm free on Friday night. Would you be up for taking me on a date?" Look at the difference. She has identified the what, the where, and the when. She has removed all the guesswork. She has presented it as a shared, positive experience. She is not complaining about the past. She is co-creating a desirable future. This is the language of a partner, a co-pilot. It signals that you are a woman who understands her own needs, who is not afraid to articulate them, and who sees her partner as a capable ally in achieving them. It is a profound signal of emotional maturity. It replaces the chaotic energy of complaint with the clear, confident energy of a request. And a man will always, always respect a woman who makes it clear how he can succeed with her. Rule 2, the fortress of your time. This second rule is about the most valuable, non-renewable resource you possess, your time. In our eagerness to connect, to be liked, to be accommodating, we often treat our time as an infinite, low-value commodity. We are endlessly available. We reply to texts instantly. We will drop our own plans at a moment's notice for a last-minute invitation. We will stay on the phone for hours, listening to stories that go nowhere. This behavior, while seemingly nice, sends a powerful and deeply disrespectful subconscious signal. It signals that your time is not valuable, and therefore that you are not valuable. It signals that your life is a waiting room and you are just sitting there, waiting for him to be the main event. The woman who commands respect treats her time like a fortress. It is a precious, well-guarded territory. She is the queen of her own kingdom, and the king himself must be granted an audience. This is not about playing games or being artificially busy. It is the natural result of having a full, rich, and meaningful life that does not revolve around a man. Her time is, by default, allocated to her mission, her passions, her friendships, her own growth. His time with her is a deliberate and valuable allocation of that precious resource. How does this look in practice? It means you do not reply to texts instantly. You are in the middle of living your life. You will reply when you have a moment of focused time to do so. It means you do not accept last-minute date invitations. A simple, warm, "That sounds lovely, but I'm already booked tonight. I'm free on Thursday if you'd like to plan something then," is all that is needed. This single sentence communicates a wealth of information. It says, 1. My time is already spoken for because I have a life. 2. I am not a backup plan. 3. I am still interested in you. 4. I am a planner, a woman of order. 5. The ball is now in your court to meet my schedule. You have maintained your frame and your value while still being warm and encouraging. It means you are the one who ends the date or the phone call. This has been so wonderful. I have an early start tomorrow, so I need to be heading out. You are the one with the schedule, the one with the purpose. You are communicating that your life has a structure and a rhythm that is independent of him. This creates a powerful sense of intrigue and a deep subconscious respect. He will learn that your time is a gift, a prize to be earned and cherished. He will value the time he has with you more because he knows it is a deliberate choice you have made to share a piece of your well-guarded fortress with him. And he will respect the queen who rules that fortress with such quiet, confident authority. Rule 3, the currency of your no. The third rule is the foundation of all personal power. It is the ability to say no cleanly, calmly, and without apology. A woman who cannot say no is a woman without boundaries. And a woman without boundaries is a woman who cannot be respected. She is a ship with no anchor, a kingdom with no walls. Her yes has no value because it is not a true choice. It is a default setting born from a fear of conflict, a fear of disapproval, a fear of being seen as not nice. The woman who commands respect understands that her no is what gives her yes its power. Her yes is a conscious, deliberate, and enthusiastic choice. It is a gift, and it is only a gift because no was also a possible and equally valid option. She is not a people pleaser, she is a self-pleaser, in the most empowered sense of the word. She understands that her primary responsibility is to be the steward of her own energy, her own well-being, and her own integrity. She knows that every time she says yes to something that is a no in her soul, she is committing a small act of self-betrayal. And a woman who does not respect herself cannot receive respect from others. The practice of this rule is about building your no muscle. It starts with small things. When a colleague asks you to take on a task that isn't your responsibility, you say with a warm but firm tone, "I'd love to help, but my plate is full with the Johnson project right now." You have not been rude, you have stated your reality. When a friend tries to guilt you into an outing you have no energy for, you say, "I'm so glad you thought of me, but I'm taking a quiet night for myself tonight. Let's plan something for next week." You have honored your own need without rejecting the person. This muscle becomes crucial in a romantic relationship. When a man pushes a boundary, when he asks for something that does not align with your values or your comfort level, your no must be a clean, solid, and unshakable wall. No long, apologetic explanations, no justifications, just a simple no, that doesn't work for me. The moment you start over-explaining, you are giving him ammunition to argue, to negotiate, to try and wear you down. A clean no is a full sentence. It is a complete statement of your reality. A man of quality, a man who is worthy of your time, will not be scared away by your no. He will be intrigued by it. He will respect it. It is a powerful signal that you are a woman of substance, a woman with a strong inner compass, a woman who knows her own worth. He will understand that he is dealing with a queen, not a peasant, and he will adjust his behavior accordingly. Your no is not a weapon to push him away. It is a filter to weed out the men who do not deserve you and a powerful magnet for the ones who do. Rule 4, the unburdened mind. The fourth rule addresses the invisible labor that so often falls to women, the silent weight that crushes intimacy and respect. This is the rule of the unburdened mind. It is the refusal to be the sole keeper of the cognitive load, the mental to-do list, the project management, the constant low-grade hum of worrying and planning for everyone. The woman who commands respect understands that she is a partner, not a parent. She is a lover, not a manager. She refuses to carry the mental burden for two people. This often manifests in the dynamic of reminding. She becomes the human alarm clock, the walking calendar. Don't forget your mother's birthday is on Friday. Did you remember to make that dentist appointment? Can you please remember to take the chicken out of the freezer? Each of these reminders is a small transfer of power. It reinforces a parent-child dynamic. It says, I am the responsible one, and you are the forgetful one who needs my management. This is not a sexy dynamic. It is the absolute killer of desire and respect. The woman who commands respect operates from a place of radical trust and radical responsibility. She trusts her partner to be a capable, competent adult, and she holds him responsible for his own share of the cognitive load. This is a boundary that is set through action, not just words. When you agree to divide responsibilities, you must also divide the mental ownership. If his job is to pay the electricity bill, it is not your job to remind him that it is due. It is his job to remember. And if he forgets, he is the one who must deal with the natural consequence of the lights being turned off. You do not rescue him. To rescue him is to treat him like a child and to reinforce the idea that you are the ultimate safety net. This is incredibly difficult to do, especially if you are a recovering rescuer or overfunctioner. It requires you to tolerate the short-term anxiety of a potential failure for the long-term gain of a more balanced partnership. It is a practice of letting go of control. You must be willing to let some balls drop, but in doing so, you are creating the space for him to learn to pick them up. When you unburden your mind from the task of managing his life, an incredible amount of energy is freed up. You are no longer his secretary. You are his partner. You can meet him on a level playing field as two sovereign adults who are choosing to build a life together. He will respect you more, not because you are managing him perfectly, but because you are trusting him completely to manage himself. You are not just giving him tasks, you are giving him the gift of your full and unqualified trust in his competence. And for a man, that is one of the most powerful and motivating gifts of all. Rule 5, the mirror of his best self. The fifth rule is a profound and subtle art. It is the ability to see the king inside the man even when he cannot see it himself, and to reflect that vision back to him. This is the mirror of his best self. This is not about empty flattery or insincere praise. A man can smell false praise from a mile away and it repels him. This is about a deep, genuine, and specific appreciation for his core masculine essence. It is about seeing his competence, his drive, his protective instincts, his ability to solve problems, and acknowledging those things in a way that makes him feel seen for who he truly is and who he is striving to be. Men live in a world that is often critical and competitive. From a young age, they are taught to be tough, to hide their insecurities, to strive, and to achieve. They rarely receive genuine, specific praise for their efforts, especially from the women in their lives. A woman who can provide this mirror becomes an oasis in a desert. She becomes an invaluable and irreplaceable source of strength. The practice is to pay attention. Look for the moments when he demonstrates his competence. When he fixes the leaky faucet, don't just say thanks. Say, wow, you are so good at figuring things out. I really admire how you just dive in and solve problems. You have not just thanked him for a task, you have praised his core quality of competence. When he tells you about a difficult challenge he overcame at work, don't just nod along. Say, that sounds incredibly stressful. I am so impressed by your resilience and how you handled that. You have mirrored back to him his strength, his ability to handle pressure. This is also about how you speak about him to others. When you are with your friends, do you complain about his shortcomings or do you speak of his strengths? A man who knows that his woman is his greatest champion, that she is building him up even when he is not there, will develop a fierce and unshakable loyalty to her. He will feel a profound sense of safety with her, knowing that she is the keeper of his best self. This is not about being his mother or his therapist, it is about being his queen. A queen sees the king in her man and, by her admiration, inspires him to rise to the throne. She is not trying to fix him. She is not trying to change him. She is simply seeing the gold that is already within him and reflecting its light back at him so brightly that he cannot help but see it himself. This is a power that is uniquely feminine, and it is a power that commands the deepest and most lasting respect a man can give. A man will build an empire for the woman who makes him feel like a king. Rule 6, benevolent detachment. This is the final rule, the one that holds all the others together. It is the keystone in the arch of respect. It is the most difficult to master and the most powerful in its effect. This is the practice of benevolent detachment. It is the understanding that you are a whole, complete, and sovereign being, and that your happiness, your worth, and your emotional stability are not dependent on him, on his approval, or on the state of the relationship. It is a deep, unshakable, and quiet sense of self-possession. Benevolent detachment is not coldness. It is not indifference. The benevolent part is crucial. It is a warm, loving, and supportive presence that comes from a place of fullness, not from a place of need. It is the energy of the sun. The sun shines its warmth and light upon the earth, but its existence is not dependent on the earth. The sun is a complete and powerful entity unto itself. A woman who embodies this energy is a source of warmth and life in a man's world. But he always knows on a deep subconscious level that she does not need him to be okay. This is the antidote to the needy energy that is so repellent to the masculine. Neediness is the energy of a vacuum. It is the feeling of, I am empty and I need you to fill me. Benevolent detachment is the energy of a fountain. It is the feeling of, I am so full that my joy and my love are overflowing, and I am choosing to share some of that overflow with you. Can you feel the profound difference? One is a burden, the other is a gift. This is cultivated through the practices we have already discussed. It is the natural result of having a fortress of your time, of having a rich and meaningful life of your own. It is the result of having the courage to say no, which proves that your sense of self is not up for negotiation. It is the result of unburdening your mind, of refusing to make his life your primary project. It is a state of being that is earned through a deep and consistent practice of self-reliance and self-respect. A man will never fully respect a woman whom he feels he has complete power over. If he knows that his withdrawal of attention or his disapproval can shatter her, he will on some level hold her in contempt. But a woman who is benevolently detached is a woman he can never fully conquer. There is a part of her, her core, that is always her own. This is not a threat. It is an endless source of intrigue and attraction. It is the ultimate sign of a high-value woman. She is with him by choice, not by necessity, and that choice, freely and consciously made every day by a woman who does not need him, is the greatest prize a man can ever hope to win. This is the respect that goes beyond admiration. It borders on reverence. Which of these 6 rules feels like the biggest challenge to your current way of being, the one that would require the most courage for you to truly embody? That is your starting point. That is where your deepest power is waiting to be unlocked.